lead and are leading the world. Dr. Eloise Komenchich is clearly a CEO of Invest Atlanta. Big, small, medium, you name it, economic development at its best, superior thinkers, superior leadership, and there are a lot of opportunities that she's going to explain as the CEO how you can approach Invest Atlanta during this moment, during these times, to pivot and to understand that you must pivot and grow a relationship with Invest Atlanta in this city so that you can bring you and your business forward. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
When you think about the opportunities, there is a huge opportunity. The CARES Act has provided Invest Atlanta with a movement. Can you explain who, what, and how individuals can get involved right now to take advantage of this opportunity and to develop a relationship with Invest Atlanta?
Of course. So just real quick, so the city of Atlanta received $88 million on behalf of Department of Treasury and the CARES Act. And I'd have to say that it was really under Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom leadership that we got a direct allocation. So the city council and the mayor had to decide, how does that $88 million get dispersed? And I want to thank them for their commitment to not only affordable housing, but to small businesses. So Invest Atlanta received $22 million. I want to remind folks that these funds came from Department of Treasury. So you will see as I go through many of the requirements to answer just your questions is that these were really brought on by Department of Treasury and how they've asked us to give out these funds. So what are these funds used for? So the grant, they are a grant. They are not a loan. And what they can be used for is for any business that has suffered or had a negative economic impact as a result of COVID. And what do they have to do to be able to do business in the future? That is key to this grant. So let me give a couple examples. Perhaps you're a small restaurant and you are going to have to physically actually move your booths around so that you can now have 6 feet social distancing. Those expenses would be covered. What happens if you are a factory and you have to buy conveyor belts so that people are also 6 foot social distancing? Those expenses would be covered. So really it's anything that you need to do to prepare post-COVID. Oftentimes, if you look at the CDC guidelines, they give a direct, and so is OSHA, a direct list of things that need to be done to not only ensure the safety of your employees, but the safety of your customers. All of those expenses will be covered because you are taking these measures to be able to survive in the post-COVID and excel post-COVID. That's important for us. Now, to your other question is, how much? How much is in this? So every business in the city of Atlanta will have an opportunity to apply for up to $50,000. Now let me break that out. There's basically 2 components of that $50,000. $40,000 is a direct cash infusion to pay for any of the expenses that or examples that I provided. Anything that helps you as a business deal with post-COVID. The additional $10,000 is for technical assistance. What does your business need? Now, you are the expert on technical, on what your needs are. We'll provide you with the list of technical service providers. Again, let me provide some examples. How about, for example, is you have had to drastically change your business plan and you're pivoting, and now you need some help and support. Or maybe you have decided to be a flower shop and you're moving from selling flowers directly to consumer online. And so now you actually have to have a website that can actually receive payments online. These are all the types of services and support. We have someone who can help you on your technical assistance on the website. Maybe you need a legal support because you need to come up with some sort of liability questionnaire that you may have, or maybe you need support with, financing, because now your actual financings are going to have to be changed because of COVID. So really the idea is not only do you get the cash infusion of $40,000, but $10,000 in technical assistance. So that's an overview on the program.
So we got an overview, but really the modernization of your business post-COVID.
Yes. Anything you need to do post-COVID, that's correct.
Right. And the other thing is it's reimbursable. So
Yes.
there has to be a reimbursement principle to your whole. So for many people, they don't know what that means.
Yeah, so let me explain that. So the way it will work is, first off, in the application, we're going to ask you to upload your receipts if you have them. So any of those expenses that you've had to do, think about PPE, plexiglass, whatever you've spent as of March 1st, you can put that in as things that we can reimburse you for. But if you don't have all your receipts, don't worry about it. We'd still ask for you to apply. And if you get awarded, you'll have an up to amount. So the application asks is, how much money do you need? And so you'll be able to put there how much money you need, and then we would reimburse you up to that amount. Now, we recognize that there are some businesses where cash flow has been an issue. You've been closed. And so what we've tried to do to accommodate is Treasury has been very clear. It needs to be reimbursable grants. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow up to 3 draws. So that means, let's just assume a business got awarded up to $30,000. So they could go in, make the expense for $10,000, submit those receipts. We would issue a check. Again, do that 3 different times. Now, if cash flow is not an issue and you can get your credit card, that's perfect as well. But we are really trying to help some of our small businesses and recognize that we may have to do several draws.
For even a small business that is dealing with draws, so that they can get their mindset on what that means, details, paperwork, budgeting. How can they approach this? Because budgeting is a real issue with small businesses, and there's a timeline. At some point, all this money has to be drawn down.
Yeah, it's a great point. So Department of Treasury has been very, very clear. All of the funds need to be dispersed by December 31st, and actually dispersed and spent as the guidelines say now. I will tell you that this is all working live, and so things can change next week. But as of today, our direction is the money needs to be dispersed, so money out the door by December 31st. So that is why we are asking all receipts, once businesses have been awarded, to be into Vestlana by November 1st, so we can recalibrate, because we're going to do our best to ensure that if 0 or none of the funds go back to Department of Treasury, because if we don't spend it all, we're going to have to send it back. But we're really going to have to watch, because what we can recognize is some people may say, hey, I need 30, and then only provide receipts for 10. And so we got to make sure that we have enough time to then get to the next business. But we are trying to be very sensitive to those businesses. I will tell you, now is the time if you need to go get quotes or proposals, so you have a really good sense of how much to ask for, so that positive thinking, your business gets awarded, you can act very quickly and then go purchase those items, go through the Invest Atlanta system, and then get reimbursed.
But Invest Atlanta is a resource, and I'm sure you've created a couple of resources. So anyone that needs technical support, how can they get technical support from Invest Atlanta?
Okay, so there's three things that we've tried to do. One was we want to make ourselves very, very accessible, more than we've ever done in the past. So there are several ways you can communicate with us should you have any questions as you're going through this process. The first way is through email. You can email us, and all of those emails are on our website, www.investlana.com. You can also call us, and that's going to be very important. You can call us at our customer service hotline, which is 404-880-7255. And what I'm really excited about on this one is our hotline is actually open. It will be open. Usually Invest Atlanta is open only from 9 to 5, 8:30 to 5 every day of the week. But if you're anything like me, I'm sometimes not that good. It comes to the deadline. The application deadline is August 31st at 5. Please do not miss that. Okay, so we are open now, August 31st at 5. We will be open on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 29th and 30th, from 9 to 5. Our customer service will be available, and our chat. For the first time in our history, Invest Atlanta actually has a chat, so I'm really excited. So again, we were really purposeful in trying to make ourselves as accessible as possible. Call us, email us or chat with us. We want to make ourselves accessible to you, because not only do you have the Resurgence grant, but if you for some reason don't qualify, or if there's perhaps you need to make expenses that aren't tied to COVID, we also have some loans open. And the loans that are open are at 3%, 4% interest rate, very amenable, no payments until March of 2021. So we are really trying to do our best to be accessible to a business, meet them where they are.
Well, I'd interrupt you. You're not trying, you're doing it. This is a tangible asset for all entrepreneurs who are in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta. This is really a moment for you to develop a relationship with an institution and a CEO here who is dedicated to continuing to serve both the large corporations and the small. So your small businesses that have been affected and you want to understand and don't know enough about Shopify. And this is that moment that both the vision of this CEO and the vision of this mayor have come together with Treasury to provide you insight on being able to get with the Shopify developer now so that you can increase the e-commerce. For those of you who need a consultant who can help you if you're running a restaurant, to pivot and develop relationships with DoorDash. I think, and you can help me, for those modern CEOs who see post-COVID more commerce, post-COVID more delivery, even being able to use this grant, particularly that 10,000, to modernize your business approach. What would you suggest? Who else is in there in that category that you see currently that could utilize a modernization?
Well, I see a lot of just even basic restaurants. Some of our small mom and pop, to your point, have not gone or have very limited presence on the web, takeout delivery. People are wanting food at home. I think there's an opportunity there to modernize. Thinking about seeing some of my colleagues nationally and what they're doing about businesses adapting to taking some of the restaurant outside on the corners or shopping centers on the sidewalk. I know that under Tim Keene's leadership of planning, they are and the city council looking at options again to allow for more social distancing. So I'd say every industry that I've run into has an opportunity to modernize and to think about how they're going to be effective in the future in this post-COVID world, and how they continue to strengthen their business is going to be essential, which is why that technical assistance piece is going to be imperative for them to participate in.
And for all of you who may not know, she's really sharing her insight and understanding. E-commerce is the future. So how do you apply this grant to your e-commerce methodology moving forward? Being able to e-market, building your list so that you have an idea on data. Maybe it's being able to buy a much more national list and actually run your business in Atlanta, but still have national customers. It might be that moment that you learn to be able to share how to get someone to help you use ads so that you're not in this moment of not understanding that now you can plan for holiday. This is that moment with this grant to plan and prepare for holiday and understand how to modernize your business. So I love the aspect of that. And I love it. This is the moment to protect the individuals who will be coming in and out of your businesses, and that's your employees. Their safety is paramount to this country's survival and getting our economy.
Right. I can agree with you more. And I also think just this is the opportunity now. It really will be, it's in Invest Atlanta's history. It's the first time in our history we've had $18 million under the Resurgence program to give out. And then we're now up to 11 different loans. So whether it's a grant or a loan that your business needs, the opportunity to apply is now. For the grant, and I know I'm going to repeat this, I don't want people to miss the date, August 31st at 5 p.m. Please, that is the deadline. For the loans, there is no deadline. Please just apply. Those can be used as much more. It's not reimbursable. It could be used for working capital. It could be used for whatever the business needs to be successful. So those are your two options now that are available to you as a business in the city of Atlanta. And I'll just add, if there's anyone who's watching who's not in the city, please go to our colleagues around. DeKalb and Gwinnett, they also have business programs. And all of our businesses are important to our region.
Super. Well, we want to thank you for spending time on CEO to CEO. You're a phenomenal CEO at Invest Atlanta, but I want this grant and to get this messaging out. So thanks again. Can you share just one more time where people can find this information today?
Yes. 2 things I will share is please go to our website at investatlanta.com if you have any questions. Please, if you want more, I drill down in every aspect of the application. Our next webinar is August 12th at 6 p.m. You could call us on our hotline, and I'm just going to repeat that, 404-880-7255. We are here to support your business, and thank you for your commitment to the city of Atlanta.
Thank you so much. We'll see you real soon. Thanks for tuning in to Rolling Out CEO to CEO. Thank you. Peace.